Hi everyone, welcome to Friday Live.
Hi, today is Friday, April 19th, 2024. Welcome.
So, did you know April is Financial Literacy Month?
hmm So there are a lot of articles about financial literacy, and I think people are getting the awareness that it is important to foster that early on and actually taking a step slightly further, not just the literacy of it, but proficiency of it. So like learning, we always stress that knowledge is key. Get more financial knowledge and be like know how to use it. So today, let's head into it.
So, we think it's not only for adults. How early should we start financial literacy?
I think as early as 3 year old, they can start to grasp some ideas of money, and that's a really good age to start.
Yeah, because I often mention that I wish I known a lot of the things when I was younger.
I think you are within the majority. A lot of people dreaded that, we did not get to learn. Well, first of all, we don't get to learn any of this in school.
Yeah, and with our upbringing, I don't know, like traditionally, a lot of our parents are just like, don't worry about it. Don't worry about money. That's not what your thing to worry about, right?
Yes, that has been, the taboo, like not to talk about money. Now, there are a lot of different reasons because this taboo basically the avoidance of talking about money is not bound by socioeconomic boundaries. It's
No.
not bound by ethnic boundaries. Basically, it's across the board. Now, there are different reasons that like studies have been like giving to why this is. So there could be parents themselves are not financial savvy. So first, they don't know how to talk about it, so they don't. Or they think that, just like you said, that kids should not worry about money. So it's kind of like, yeah, don't talk about money with kids. That's ours to deal with, and then there's that cutoff.
Yeah.
And there's also afraid the parents sometimes don't know exactly how to tackle the subject, so then they worry about kids may bring judgment to themselves or to other people. Or there is that worry that if I talk to my kids about money or the financial situation of our family, that that private information will somehow be shared
Become
with other
gossip or
people.
something.
Yeah. So
But it's shifting just like we talked about. I feel like we're always tackling these cultural shifts and dynamics, dialogues and stuff. I know I read recently, like I think in Finland or Denmark, they require financial literacy tests for teenagers.
that's awesome.
Like it's required in the school curriculum that they learn it in school now.
So as of right now, I think, and across the United States, there are only like half of the states that require uh, financial knowledge, like financial literacy in public schools, but they don't start until high school. And the issue is they don't have actually the right personnel to teach it. Sometimes it's kind of like the added on course. So then, who can piggyback it, teach it. So sometimes it's taught by PE teachers. It's sometimes taught by history teachers.
Yeah.
So not necessarily like the right financial savvy professional who is
not
actually
very-
delivering the actual information.
It's not a developed curriculum that it's always better to start at home, I think.
I think so, and I think as parents,
We want to be role models. I think it's always easier, for them to live it rather than reading it about it or teaching.
it's amazing how observant kids are. So I think every day it's something that we as parents can distill into them. So just be mindful of what you want to pass on. So every day, just like when they look at you, how do you earn your money? How do you spend your money? How do you use your money? How do you manage like money in different aspects?
And just even your value system, right? Where do you place money? Like, how do you view money? I think.
Right. So even without really communicating with your children, they see a lot. They see what you do with it, and it's amazing. They pick up on little things that you do.
Yeah, they do. I think I read in child psychology, 90% of what the kids learn is from watching you,
Right.
and then 10% is from you telling them. I mean, I'm sure we experience this at home. When I tell my kids something, like it's like they don't hear me.
Right, but when you don't, they
When
say,
you do
"Mommy,
something,
I
like,
saw
"Oh,
you did that."
Yeah.
So So I think every day, being good role models, just being mindful of, what they see you doing is a really good start. Don't hide it from them. If you think you're delivering the right thing, if you're managing your finances right, let them see it. Let your kids see what you're doing.
Yeah.
So I think that's the very first, just that to start. And then, like, even we're talking about ages, really, really young, like, 3, 4 years old. You ask them, can you tell the difference between needs and wants?
Yeah.
They get that idea, right? So they know that them being so young, we're going to provide them with all the needs, but all the wants, what do we tell them? That expectation, right? You have to work towards something. There's that goal setting to begin with, right? If you are good today, I'll get you something that you want. Yeah, it's kind of like a bargain.
Reward system. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's depending on how you want to deliver that message, right? To teach them the value of money, how to hard work and all that.
Just that things don't come out of nowhere.
Yeah,
right?
Money doesn't grow on trees, but how do you teach that to them?
You gotta, do something to attain what you want and what you need, right? And then it can lead into, like, saving up for something. Like, if you get a treat every day, you want to save it couple days and then get a bigger treat. That is saving, budgeting, and then eventually, like, from one's, like, their own little mind to the unit, like the family as a whole. So it can grow. You can, like, depends on their age. You can grow that little habits.
Yeah, so it could be easy as, like, you go to the store, they want a certain toy, like, no, I'm not gonna buy that for you, that's a big toy, right? Do you have to wait for your birthday, some parents say? Or you could say, hey, like, how do you get from point A to point B? Like, how do you get to that toy? Right? Then through that, you could teach them about saving, budgeting, somehow help them earn money or obtain money, right? How do you get there? And then over time, you teach them how to accumulate that money.
Now, with that in mind, basically you have to keep your finances. You have to keep your finance management really clear, and so you know what you're doing. So then you know how to show them what you're doing. Now, a really good way to do that, trust planning. So like trust planning, it starts any day. Like, it can start anytime. It's not like, end of the road, then you plan for everything. So
life planning,
right?
like
it's a life planning. So then, you get all your finances in order. Trust being a really essential part of this entire education, this entire planning. It helps you, it helps you align all your different finances. Right? Long term, short term, you have everything under one big umbrella, or one whole suitcase, like we usually say it. And then you have it more clear in your own mind how you want to tackle everything. And then so when you carry that out, it's so much easier and so much more concise and to the point, and usually, like, how to work things in your favor because it's organized.
Yeah, right. I think a lot of times we compare it to running a company. Think about running your home like a company. A trust is kind of like your family company structure, and then the more you communicate to your children about it, they see you managing it, the transparency of it, they can learn.
Right. So throughout this entire process, year after year, and as they grow older, you continue this habit of communicating. It helps. Number one, there's so many advantages, but for one, when you include your children into the conversation, they have this safe place where they can talk about, they're not sure about money, or they have concerns like, do we have enough money? Do you do this? Do you do that? At least there's a place to talk about it.
Yeah. Even if you don't want to tell them, like, how much money you have. Like, some parents have concerns about that. They don't want to know, the kids know exactly how much they have. But you can always talk about, we want to allocate this money to plan for a trip. Or, like, you can talk about that without getting into very specifics. Because if you don't want your kids to go to school and say, well, my parents have this much money, whatever, right? But you could always still talk about the structuring of it and the planning and the organizing.
Right. And then throughout this, this habit of communication between the family members about money concepts, it's kind of like you give them the right vocabulary, the right context for them to have that good, comfortable feel about finance. So then, they know what they're doing, because remember we talked about women's are like much deprived of that opportunity just because they did not have the opportunity to be
hands-on and managing.
Right. So they're less confident about investing. So this is the same thing. You give them the right tool, give them the right knowledge, and it's like second nature. It's easy to talk about. They know what they're talking about. So then they have that confidence to manage their own.
It's like our core value: knowledge, empowerment, communication.
And then communication, it builds a trust within the family, right? Like kids feel like they're validated, they're trusted to be included in this entire conversation, and then they can from smaller, like just in the listening part to the discussing part, and then you can also when they get older, then distill to them what is their role in this entire family.
Yeah.
Not just inheriting money, right? But they can
give them a role in it within the family, right? It's kind of almost like a chore. You want to instill that responsibility, right? And it also helps them build confidence. So that goes with the whole empowerment. And I think even through that, it will help your family dynamic because
Definitely.
you'll have family meeting, you have regular communication, and over time what their strengths are. Then you could always work with each other,
And when you talk about assigning different roles, not only that they have a clear picture of what the family finance is about, they would have a clear sense of what they can expect out of this family. Like when kids go to college, they have to think about do they go private, do they go public, do they go out of state, or do they need to get loans? So they know exactly what the finances are. They know how much they can anticipate the family being how much support they can actually get. And so it gets them grounded. If I know I don't have enough for tuition, where do I start planning? They would have that in mind, and it's not that, oh, my family just doesn't want to pay for it.
Yeah, and over time they already built the skills and the expertise and the confidence, right? Like we talked about, if they started going, oh, I know how to save up to buy this toy that I want, then you can always translate that to, how do I get to that tuition? Like, you have that open communication that they know you're supporting them. Yeah, even if you don't have this pool right now, how do we get there? How do we, so it's always good to have that. And I think it helps with the dynamic, right? I talk to my kids a lot, and it's like, it's a cooperation. Like we need to cooperate with each other, a collaboration in the family. So I think through the trust, the planning, the financial planning, it will extend to other parts of your family life where they understand they're part of the team.
And an extension of that, even older, a lot of people have family business. They would know, what their roles are within this. Are they to, be a successor to the family business, or how are they what are they expected to continue this operation, or how? There's just different approaches, but being transparent really helps the entire planning, and it helps you to give that value to the next generation.
And they feel like you trust them. I think that's a big thing, because I think a lot of times when our parents, or I don't know, like teachers or whatever, they don't tell us information, it makes me feel like they don't trust me, or they don't think I know, they don't think I'm smart enough, so whatever it is, right? Like it's probably not the reason that a lot of times parents don't tell kids stuff, because they want to protect them.
But as long as you're not transparent, they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah,
exactly. And then so also like between siblings, every child has different needs.
Yeah.
So when you're all transparent about it, it actually helps build empathy between the different family members.
And also the bond within the family.
Right.
We can all rely on each other.
And then, that understanding of what should happen and why things should happen between the family. Maybe they're not equal shares, but why it's the way it is, and make each bring that understanding, like mutual understanding, to the entire family, be out on the table, so everything can be carried out and everybody will have that proper care and protection. I think that's a big thing. So yes, so I mean, knowledge is definitely the key, and we
want this to continue to grow with you. So that's why we think trust planning is good. Over time, we have seen our clients, our family, they have entrusted their kids to be their trustees, as successor trustees. Even during their lifetime, there are times they've given the kids a role of trustee. And, our annual meetings, we always encourage them to bring their family over. Like, they're part of it. If they're part of the plan, they should be here.
So, right. So, but with our clients, year after year, we make sure that their trust planning works the way that they want for them. The same way that, we encourage our clients to do the same with all the family members, we have everybody on board. And then, to connect also with like financial professionals or CPAs to make sure everything is lined up that helps you along the way. Since your kids are little, to that upbringing, just have that instilled as part of the education and part of the family dynamic of everybody growing together, everybody in the know, and that transparent environment to grow together.
Yeah, because we all know somebody who like started first year of college and just maxed out their credit card because they don't know how that works. And we don't want that to happen to you. So start early.
Start early and, keep that. It's a really good habit to have, just, have good financial management, and knowledge is the key. So never stop learning.
Open communication.
We can still learn something every day. And then, of course, we can teach our kids every day, something little by little, it adds up. And
for the to-do list, we want to give you something concrete to work on. So for depending on the age of your children.
Okay, if you have elementary school children,
you can start buying them books about money. Just start that discussion, right? Start that discourse. Let them pay at the grocery store. See how money works, right?
Okay.
For give them allowance. Show them how to save.
Okay.
Yeah, like
in elementary
piggy
school.
bank, whatever you're comfortable with, right? Middle school, you can start talking about investment.
Investments.
Know more about math.
Their math is a little more concrete to actually tackle, like, how do you make interest? How does the interest, compound interest work?
Yeah, open a bank account, right? Give them a debit card, so maybe they could keep track of what amounts they have, what comes in and out.
Good idea.
Maybe a vision board. Like middle schoolers always want to buy stuff or take trips. I mean, at least my middle schoolers do, right? So vision board, like what does that look like? How do you get from here to there, right? And help them to achieve those goals or talk about it. Goal setting, middle baby steps. How to save up for a Disneyland ticket or whatever, right?
And for high school? Oh, we're getting bigger and bigger.
Summer jobs. Get them to start making money. The value of money, right? It doesn't grow on trees. It doesn't come out of mom's wallet. Where did money come from, right? Teach them everything they know about, credit scores. Start building those credit scores, right? So they know what it means when they max out, right?
Ooh. Yeah, that's true. Credit card, and then you make your own income. That's when
you gotta build up that credit score,
that's
right?
When it starts.
What does it mean? How to build up the credit score, right?
Okay. College
investment.
For
investment. Yeah, talk about college education. Start thinking about the tuition, right?
Rate of return on investment. You know what? My 11-year-old asked me a couple days ago. Do you know what ROI is? I was like, wow.
So you want to take control of the dialogue before they learn from other sources. So it's always good to start early.
Right.
And they can start helping you like save up for college. Like if they want to say, hey, I want to go to private school, do you know how much private college costs? Like
if they want to help,
I think that should start like really
they can
start contributing to that pool.
Elementary school or middle school. Okay.
College. Well, it's not like college. You're basically adults, but yeah.
They're already adults.
Tax
that, of course,
issues.
Okay. Be like starting to actually take individual responsibility for themselves.
Budget, they might be living by themselves for the first time. They need to learn about budgeting, right?
Or if they do get financial aid or scholarship that they that goes to their tuition and living expenses, then they really should learn to plan that out themselves.
And if they're working, right, so they need to think about retirement accounts, employees benefits, and all this nice adulty stuff.
Okay. So the point is, no matter, what age your kids are, start today. Start a conversation of some type. Get them some financial knowledge, and good luck. Yeah,
it's now a one-step process. Baby steps, right?
It starts now. Starts now. Good luck.
So let us know how it goes. Try to do something on the to-do list, or you have other ideas to build financial literacy.
Let us know.
Let us know. Have a good weekend. Bye.